BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
You're listening to Sunday's episode of The Archers from BBC Radio 4.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Dad.
What brings you here?
I'm just waiting for Natasha.
Why? Where is she?
She's popped in to see Mum. You see, the thing is, there's this unit coming vacant at Sawyer's farm.
Yes, you said.
And she's decided, we've decided to go for it.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks just right for Summer Orchard.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yes, I know. But after, well, that row she had with Mum, it seemed like the best option. We're just on the way over there, actually, to measure up and everything. Only Natasha's decided she wanted to, make her peace with Mum.
Oh, right.
Anyway, did you go to Bert's funeral yesterday?
Yeah, oh, of course I did. I was very touched that Trevor asked me. It was really just the family, the Brookfield crowd.
How did it go?
Oh, it was lovely. Alan conducted the service and read the eulogy, and then Trevor read out one of Bert's poems.
Oh dear.
No, it was really sweet, actually, and funny. One of his better efforts. And then we went back to Brookfield for tea and cake. So, all in all, a really nice send-off for old Bert.
Good to hear.
I've been meaning to ask you, Tom, about Christmas.
What about it?
Have you given any thought to what we should do for the Bridge Fresh customers?
Not really, no.
It'd be nice to give them a little something, wouldn't it? Just to say thank you for their continuing support.
Oh. Any ideas?
Well, Mum suggested we might order a load of those little chocolate Christmas puddings. Do you remember? We had some last year.
Yeah, from the posh chocolate shop down by the cathedral in Felpersham.
That's right. And put a couple in with the Christmas deliveries, like we did with the toffee apples for bonfire night.
Yeah, nice idea.
And I also thought, why don't we make our own Christmas card? Take some photographs of the farm and put them together in some sort of collage.
Oh, you should get Johnny onto that.
Johnny?
Oh, he's always taking pictures on his phone. He's got a good eye. Some of them are really good.
Oh, thanks, Tom. I'll ask him.
I'm sorry, Natasha. I really didn't want things to end like this.
I'm disappointed too. But we were never going to agree, were we?
Well, not about your plan for the old orchard, no. But there were other options.
I'm not sure there were. I suggested every possible location. You knocked me back. The old orchard site, well, that was really ideal.
I know.
Even if I'd found somewhere else here, we'd probably have disagreed about that. Well, I could see this dragging on for months and months.
But you do understand why we couldn't accept...
And when this unit at Sawyer's came up, it seemed like the obvious solution.
That structure that you were proposing...
Wasn't my first choice as well, you know, Pat.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do know.
It was all we could afford in the circumstances.
But it would have looked completely out of place.
That's a matter of opinion.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I'm sorry that you won't be here on the farm.
Yes, it is a shame, but I won't be far away.
It's not the same, though, is it?
And after all, Tom's at Sawyer's for a couple of days every week.
Yes, he is. Now, are you sure you won't stop for a cup of coffee?
No, really, we're on our way to this appointment at Sawyer's.
Well, why don't you come back after you've seen the place? Come for lunch. Tell us all about it.
Thank you, Pat, but I'm afraid we have other plans.
Oh. OK.
Some other time, maybe. But perhaps you could do me a favour, could you?
Yes, of course.
Tell Fallon that the terrace is safe. And, well, as a consequence, she can forget about the rent reduction.
Hello?
Hello, Linda.
Oh? It's you.
It is indeed.
I'm sorry, Hazel, I didn't recognise you.
I'm the one who should be apologising. Trespassing on your property like this.
I had heard you were staying at the lodge.
That's right, yes. Peggy has been a godsend. You know, do you, that this was the house I grew up in?
Well, I knew it belonged to Jack Woolley before we moved here.
To dear Daddy. Yes. This was where we lived after my mother got together with him. So these gardens are full of memories for me. Do you know, it is the only place I was ever truly happy. Would you mind awfully if I had a look round the back? Down by the river?
No, of course not. Can I offer you a cup of coffee or something before you explore?
Coffee would be very welcome. I could do with a sit down. I'd forgotten quite how long a walk it is from the lodge to Ambridge Hall.
Why didn't Tom come in with her?
He seemed to think she specifically wanted to make her peace with you.
Did he?
After that row you had.
She didn't seem to be in what you might call a peacemaking mood.
Oh, no apology.
No, just a lot of self-justification. She's taking the Sawyer's Farm unit, and it's all my fault.
Oh, dear.
I suggested she and Tom might like to come for lunch. But she said no, they have other plans.
Well, maybe they do.
Here's your coffee.
Thanks.
I just can't bear this atmosphere, Tony. And I admit it's partly my fault.
No, it isn't. That structure she was proposing to put up in the old orchard, it was perfectly hideous.
It was, wasn't it?
And Natasha needs to understand that if she wants to be part of this family, she can't go taking unilateral decisions about matters which affect us all.
Exactly.
Like offering Fallon a rent reduction. I mean, really.
And that's another thing. She expects me to be the person to tell Fallon that the project's been cancelled and that she has therefore to forget about her rent being cut.
Well, that's a bit unfair.
Anyway, there's nothing more we can do. Just have to wait for the dust to settle.
I feel much better for that coffee. Thank you, Linda.
Good.
It's a real pleasure to be sitting out here, where I spent so many happy days as a child.
You sure you're warm enough?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm fine.
And it's not really the weather for sitting outside.
At least the sun is trying to shine. See how it reflects on the water.
It's lovely, isn't it? This is a perfect spot.
I remember Daddy helping me build a den, just along there, in among the trees.
Oh.
I was trying to hide from my mother.
From your mother?
She'd just given me the most awful telling off.
Oh, dear.
In the end, Daddy stuck up for me and smoothed it all over. He was so kind to me. Any person who's ever shown me real love.
So, is that what's brought you back here?
Well, yes, I suppose it is. This is the only place I've ever really felt I belong.
This house?
Not just the house. The whole village. Although I'm glad that you and Robert are taking such good care of the old place.
We do our best. I expect this garden looked quite different, didn't it, when you lived here?
It's mostly lawn, as I remember.
It was completely laid waste by the flood in 2015.
Yes, of course.
Both house and garden were inundated, and this whole area was completely redesigned afterwards.
And very beautiful it looks.
That was the last time you were here, wasn't it, at the time of the flood?
I suppose it was.
I remember you were determined to convert the village shop into flats.
Oh, don't remind me. You and I were at daggers drawn over that, weren't we?
Yes, I'm afraid to say that we were.
My fault entirely. I simply didn't grasp how vital the shop was, and still is, to the community. In fact, I really didn't understand what the word community meant. That's a lesson you taught me. You and dear Peggy. That it's what makes Ambridge so special, isn't it? Not just the beauty of the countryside, but that sense of, well, of being part of something, of belonging.
Indeed.
And you've played a vital role in all that, haven't you? Didn't somebody tell me that you've just been honoured by the Queen?
Oh, well,
MBE, no less.
yes. Yes, we went up to Windsor Castle just last week.
Richly deserved, I'm sure.
A very memorable occasion, yes.
Contributed so much to this village over the years. It's quite right that those who contribute the most should be recognised. Which is why I suggested to Rex Fairbrother that he really should post some kind of tribute to Daddy on the Rewilding website.
What has that got to do with Jack Woolley?
It was his money that paid for the land.
But it was Peggy's initiative.
Of course it was. But she couldn't have done it without Daddy's money.
Oh. Well, yes, I suppose so.
So, do you have a project on the go just now? A Christmas pantomime, perhaps?
Not a pantomime, no. This year we're staging a peripatetic version of the medieval mystery plays.
Peripatetic?
Different scenes will take place in different locations all around the village, as they were in the 15th century.
Goodness, that sounds ambitious.
It is proving something of a challenge, not least because I've just lost my donkey.
Lost your donkey?
I was depending on Shula to lend me hers. Benjamin's such an amiable creature, well used to public appearances. But apparently he is afflicted with arthritis, and the vet has advised that he wouldn't cope well with the pressures of performance.
So, when is the performance taking place?
It's in two parts. The Nativity will be on Boxing Day and the Passion on the 2nd of January.
Oh, what a shame. I shall miss it.
Will you?
Yes. I'm only here until the end of the week. I'm in the process of selling my house, you see,
Oh.
so I have a lot of packing up to organise. But I shall be back here in the new year, hopefully for a slightly longer stay. My new place is undergoing refurbishment. Which reminds me, there's something rather vital I must sort out whilst I'm here.
Oh, Tom, this is perfect. It's absolutely ideal, isn't it?
So, really, my mum's done you a favour.
How do you work that out?
Well, if we'd gone ahead with the new build at Bridge Farm, it would have taken months and months to get it up and running.
I'm cost an arm and a leg.
Whereas here...
With luck, I can be moved in a matter of weeks, can't I?
Exactly. Although, there will be rent to pay, of course.
But it's pretty much what I'm paying for my current premises. And think what I'll be saving on petrol, not having to drive up there constantly.
And you'll be in Ambridge. That's the important thing. Only 10 minutes from home.
If only this had come up a few weeks earlier, we could have saved all that hassle. What?
Hazel Woolley,
Who?
our landlady.
What does she want?
Can she drop by and see us tomorrow afternoon?
At the flat?
Yeah.
What for?
She doesn't say. Just, will 2:30 be okay? Can you make 2:30?
I'll probably be there anyway. I've a mountain of paperwork to get through, so I thought I'd work from home.
Well, we'll have to tidy up a bit.
Oh dear.
Seriously. If the place isn't immaculate, we'll never hear the end of it. The woman is a tyrant.